Hello everyone, hope everyone is fine. So আমি বেসিক্যালি কি কৰি আছো, আমি ইউনিটস এন্ড মেজারমেন্ট কৰি আছো, এন্ড মোস্ট ইম্পর্টেন্টলি ইনিশিয়ালি মই এটা অ্যানাউন্সমেন্ট এটা দি দিও যে one student Chinmoy Mahanta, so he asked me that how there are three types of unit. He got in a book that there are three types of unit. One is fundamental unit, and another one is derived unit, and third one is supplementary unit. So he asked me about supplementary unit. So supplementary unit to beleg eku nohoy, আমি যেটো ডিসকাস করেছিল যে unit of angle, there are two types of angle na, one is solid angle and another one is plane angle. What is the unit of plane angle? It is radian. What is the unit of solid angle? Steradian. So radian and steradian are the supplementary unit. Okay, these two are very rarely used, that is why I did not mention. Though basically we have two types of unit. Eta hoise ek hai fundamental unit or ek hai derived units. Okay, so there are 7 fundamental units. So and all other units are your derived units, but two units are there. One is radian and another one is steradian, and radian and steradian, they are nothing but supplementary unit. Okay, so remember everyone. So in your exam you can write that there are three types of unit: fundamental, supplementary and derived. Fundamental, you know, 7, and derived 2, radian and steradian. Sorry, supplementary 2, radian and steradian, and derived बाकी जितना भी है ना सब derived units पे डाल दो, ठीक है. So today we will start about this one, about dimensions from this chapter. So what do you mean by the term called dimension? देखो dimension क्या होता है. So our topic is units, chapter is units and measurement. Chapter is units and measurement, and the topic we will discuss today is all about dimension. Okay, so what do you mean by the term called dimension? Ek example le lo. Suppose acceleration. What is the unit of acceleration? The unit of acceleration is meter per second square. The unit of acceleration is meter per second square. So what are the quantities involved here? Dekho, meter means length, okay, and second means time. So in the unit of acceleration, two quantities are involved, length and time. So what is the power of length? 1. What is the power of time? Is equal to -2. So this is about dimension. So dimension basically represent that in a physical quantity, what are the powers of fundamental quantities. Okay, what in a physical quantity, what are the powers of fundamental quantities. Okay, for example, force from class 9 you have got force equal to mass into acceleration. Kg, acceleration is meter per second square. So kg is the unit of mass, a meter is the unit of length, and a second is the unit of time. So what is the power of mass here? Dekho, kg to the power 1. So the quantity mass is involved here for single time. Okay, acha, length to kiman time or karone involve hoye ase, that is also for once. And the time that is in involvement here is -2. Why? Because we can write this one as s to the power -2. So this 1, 1, -2, they are nothing but the dimension. So the definition of dimension is definition. Okay, so the definition of dimension is the number of times the number of times of fundamental quantity the number of times of fundamental quantity, the number of times of fundamental quantity is contained in the given derived physical quantity, in the given derived physical quantity is known as dimension. Is known as dimension. Okay, so what is the definition? The number of times of physical quantity is contained in the given derived physical quantity is known as dimension. Okay, so I already told you earlier that in force, what are the physical quantities involved? Mass, length and time. Mass is involved for one single time, length for single, and time is for 2 times. Okay, so in dimension we will write this one as in the format: for mass the dimension representation is m to the power 1, for length it is capital L, and for time it is capital T to the power -2. So it can be written as m L T minus 2. So what is the dimension of force? That is ml T minus 2. From here, what is the power of mass? 1. What is the power of length? 1. What is the power of time? -2. Then what is the dimension of acceleration? This is m0, because there is no mass, L1. So we will not write 1, T to the power -2. So this is the dimension of acceleration. Okay, so I will give you a table so you remember the dimensions. So quantity and unit, and finally the dimension. So remember this table. So first quantity, it means we have to discuss about 7 fundamental quantity only. So the first quantity is about mass. What is the unit of mass? This is kg. What is the unit of what is the dimension of mass? M. Okay, number 2, length. What is the SI unit of length? Meter. What is the dimension? Capital L. Okay, what is number 3? Mass, length, and then it will be time. Time unit is second, dimension is capital T. Okay, number 4 is temperature. Another fundamental unit is temperature, and temperature is represented by Kelvin. The dimension is also K. Do not forget to this one, mention the square bracket. Okay, dimension is always mentioned within the square bracket, so remember it. Number 5 is current. What is the unit of current? Ampere. So the dimension of current is capital A. Okay, other 2, the number 6 is amount of substance. What is the amount of substance? This is mole, so it can be written as MOL, mole. Okay, Achha, after this number 7 is luminous intensity. Luminous intensity, the unit is candela, that is CD, and it is in dimension we can write this one as in this format. So we will basically use this 5. এই 5টা আমি বেসিক্যালি ইউজ করিম, বাকিখিনি আমার ইমান ইউজ নহয়. ওকে, আচ্ছা, সো আই হ্যাভ অলরেডি গিভেন ইউ সাম আইডিয়া হাউ টু রাইট डाउन द डायमेंशंस. ओके, इज देयर एनी डायमेंशन ऑफ एंगल? क्या रेडियन का कोई डायमेंशन है? नो, दे आर नोन एज सप्लीमेंट्री यूनिट्स. डन. सो लेट अस try to find out the dimension of some other quantities that you got in class 10. So some quantities that you got is current, you got charge. So what is the dimension of charge? So basically you have to know about the formula. If you know the formula of the physical quantity involved, then you can easily find out the dimension. एक example देखो, जैसे कि example ये 1, work done. Work done is equal to what? Force into displacement. What is force? Force is mass into acceleration into displacement. Mass is kg, acceleration is meter per second square, displacement is, s is displacement ना, उसका unit क्या होगा? Meter. So it will be kg meter square per second square. So what will be the dimension of work done? Mass is involved for single time, so mass is involved here only for once, so m to the power 1, length is involvement of length is for 2 and time is to the power minus 2. So this is the dimension of work done. Okay. Number 3, it will be 3 because acceleration and force is done. It will be 4. Acha, number 4 in class 10 you got potential. Acha, before discussing potential, let us discuss about charge. Charge, okay. Charge क्या होगा? Charge is represented by Q. So what is the formula? Q is equal to IT. कहाँ से आया ये formula? First class 10, current is equal to amount of charge flowing through a conductor per unit time. So charge, this is Q. What is the dimension of current? A. What is the dimension of T? This one, capital T. So, but you have to write the answer in this way: M0, L0, TA. Means while you will write dimension, MLT must be there. If it is not available in your unit, then you have to write M to the power 0, L to the power 0, T to the power 0 like this. So this is the dimension of charge, which is basically A into T. So number 5 is potential. So what is the formula of potential? Work done in moving per unit charge. Do you remember the formula? So what is work done? Work done का क्या आया? ML2. Work done is ML2 T minus 2. And what is the dimension of charge? AT. From here it is AT. So it will be ML2 T minus 3 A to the power minus 1. A T ऊपर जाएगा तो क्या होगा? It will be T to the power minus 1, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, A to the power minus 1. This is the dimension of potential difference. Okay? Acha. So in our next is so the next one, you got one more physical quantity, that is the resistance. Okay? Opposition to the flow of current. So what will be the dimension of resistance? So number 6. Acha, let us do power first. These are some important dimension. Power is equal to what? Rate of doing work. কার্য সম্পাদনৰ হাৰকে ক্ষমতা বোলে. So work done in per unit time. ঠিক আছে? Work done তো আমি কি পালো? So dimension of power কি হ'ব? It will be dimension of work done divided by dimension of time. Dimension of work done কি আছিলে? ML2 T minus 2. Dimension of time is capital T. So the dimensional formula is ML to T minus 3. This is from power. Okay? ML to T minus 3. Acha, I told you about resistance. Number 7. Resistance. So can you find out of resistance? So what is the formula of resistance? V divided by I. So R is equal to, what is the dimension of potential? ML to T minus 3 A minus 1. So ML to T minus 3 A to the power minus 1. What is the dimension of current? Ampere. So it will be ML2 T minus 3 A minus 2. This is the dimension of what? This is the dimension of resistance. Okay? So from the formula, you try to find out the dimension of resistivity. Okay? Resistivity is rho. So try to find out the dimension of rho. What formula you will use here? You should use the formula R equal to rho L by A. Use this formula to find out the dimension of what? To find out the dimension of resistivity. Okay? You can find out the dimension of velocity. What is the dimension of velocity? Very simple. So gradually in our physics we have to introduce with some other physical quantity like surface tension, like coefficient of viscosity and all these things, like your Planck's constant, and then at that time we will be able to know about their dimensions, because if you want to find out the dimension of a physical quantity, you must have to know the formula involved with that physical quantity. Because if you do not know the formula, how will you find out? In every step, we are taking the help of the mathematical formulas, okay? So if you want to find out the dimension of any physical quantity, that is derived physical quantity, then you must have to know the formula involved for that physical quantity. So hetu ami gom paboi lagibo je hey dimension tur hey jitu amar unit, hey unit tur logot ki formula involve hoi ase. Jenukwa tumi jodi Planck's constant jitu ami kolo, Planck's constant tu ulabor karone, Planck's constant is represented by h. So you must have to know this one, that the Planck's constant, the formula involved with Planck's constant is E equal to h nu. H is the Planck's constant, E is the energy, and nu is the frequency. From there you have to calculate. So these are the things. So we will obtain the formulas gradually when we will move forward in our syllabus. Then you have to find out the dimensions of those physical quantities. Lot of dimensions are there: temperature coefficient, linear expansion ka coefficient, cubical expansion ka coefficient, surface tension, then areal expansion ka coefficient, lots of things. Angular velocity, angular acceleration, linear momentum. You can find out the dimension of linear momentum. So homiyat ki koy linear momentum mane hoise ভরবেগ. Okay, so linear momentum, to tak অসমীয়াত হৈছে term to ভরবেগ. Okay, so linear momentum, it is represented by p. So try to find out the dimension of p also. So linear momentum and all these things. So yet only thing you have to know about the formula. Okay, so next one is what is the unit of dimensional method or dimensional analysis ka uses kya hai, not unit, that what are the uses of dimensional analysis. Iska kuch to uses hoga और कुछ limitations भी होगा. तो first we will discuss about the uses of dimensional analysis. So there are 3 uses and we will discuss the uses gradually, and in your exam you will get some question based on uses of dimensional analysis. Okay, so topic is uses of dimensional analysis. Uses of dimensional analysis. Okay, so the first use is to check the correctness of an equation. To check the correctness, मतलब एक इक्वेशन सही है या गलत, उसको फाइंड आउट करने के लिए we will use dimensional analysis. तो to check the correctness of an equation. Okay, to check the correctness of an equation. अब देखो यहाँ पे correctness of an equation का मतलब क्या है. Suppose in class 10 you got a formula that v equal to u plus at. I think in class 9 पे मिला था v means final velocity, u is initial velocity, a is acceleration and t is time. देखो velocity का यूनिट क्या है, it is मीटर पर सेकेंड. ये भी वेलोसिटी है, इसका भी यूनिट क्या होगा, मीटर पर सेकेंड, और इसका भी ओवरऑल यूनिट क्या होगा, मीटर पर सेकेंड ही होगा. कैसे देखो, ये वेलोसिटी का यूनिट है मीटर पर सेकेंड, इनिशियल वेलोसिटी का यूनिट है मीटर पर सेकेंड. यहाँ पे 2 क्वांटिटी इन्वॉल्व है, वन इज एक्सीलरेशन, उसका यूनिट क्या है, उसका यूनिट है मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर, और टाइम का यूनिट है सेकेंड. दोनों को मिलाने से ये यूनिट भी क्या होगा, मीटर पर सेकेंड. ये तीनों का यूनिट बराबर होना चाहिए. क्यों बराबर होना चाहिए, देखो वी आर एडिंग दिस 2 क्वांटिटी ना. अगर इसका यूनिट मीटर पर मीटर है और इसका यूनिट अगर केजी है, कैन यू ऐड मीटर एंड केजी. 7 kg प्लस 5 मीटर, कैन यू ऐड, नो, इसका कोई मीनिंग ही नहीं है. इसका मतलब इसका जो यूनिट होगा, इसका यूनिट, सबका यूनिट क्या होना चाहिए. ऑल द फिजिकल क्वांटिटीज in the equation they should have the same unit. मतलब not physical quantity, all the terms involved in the equation must have the same physical unit. अगर इसका यूनिट मीटर पर सेकेंड है, इसका यूनिट मान लो मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर है, इसका यूनिट मान लो मीटर पर सेकेंड क्यूब है, तो कैन यू ऐड? नो. I told you an example, na, you cannot add meter and second. 7 second plus 5 meter. Can you add? No. So in an equation, all the terms involved in an equation, they must be continuous. Continuous, or they must have the same unit. Okay? Is it clear from this example? अब देखो, suppose an equation. हम लोगों ने एक equation ले लिया. Let us consider an equation. So suppose we have assumed an equation like this: x equal to a plus bt minus ct square plus dt cube. कोई इक्वेशन है, हमें नहीं मालूम क्या है. Where suppose x is in meter, where x is in meter. तो इसका ये इक्वेशन when we can say, ये t मतलब टाइम नहीं है, हाँ, और a b c d भी कोई कांस्टेंट नहीं है. दिस इज ए नॉर्मल इक्वेशन बट x इज रिप्रेजेंटिंग मीटर. ये इक्वेशन करेक्ट होगा कब? दिस इक्वेशन इज करेक्ट so when this equation will be correct? So from dimensional analysis, the dimension of x, इसका जो डायमेंशन होगा, मतलब इसका जो डायमेंशन है, इसका डायमेंशन और इसका डायमेंशन, तीनों का डायमेंशन बराबर होना चाहिए. मतलब डायमेंशन ऑफ x must be or equal to dimension of a, must be or equal to dimension of bt, must be equal to dimension of ct square, must be equal to dimension of dt cube. और सबका डायमेंशन देखो, x किस पे है? मीटर पे है ना, तो सबका डायमेंशन must be equal to L. अगर ये कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई हो गया, इसका मतलब then this equation will be correct. Let us take an example. So example 1, you got this equation that s equal to ut plus half of at square. Now we have to check whether this equation is correct or not. अब देखो, डायमेंशन ऑफ s क्या होगा? दिस इज s इज व्हाट? डिस्टेंस ना. तो व्हाट इज द यूनिट ऑफ डिस्टेंस? मीटर. मीटर का डायमेंशन क्या है? l. अच्छा, व्हाट इज द डायमेंशन ऑफ u एंड t? देखो, u मीन्स मीटर पर सेकेंड, सो lt minus 1. एंड व्हाट इज द डायमेंशन ऑफ टाइम? t. सो फाइनली यू विल गेट दिस इज इक्वल टू l. अच्छा, हाफ का कोई डायमेंशन है क्या? हाफ इज ए नंबर, तो हाफ इज हैज़ नो यूनिट. सिंस हाफ हैज़ नो यूनिट, सो हाफ हैज़ नो डायमेंशन ऑल्सो. सो व्हाट इज द डायमेंशन ऑफ at स्क्वायर? at स्क्वायर का डायमेंशन क्या होगा? देखो, a मतलब क्या है? एक्सेलरेशन. व्हाट इज द यूनिट ऑफ एक्सेलरेशन? मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर. सो द यूनिट विल बी l t minus 2, not unit, dimension. And what is the dimension of t square? It will be capital T square. So t to the power minus 2 and t to the power plus 2, 0. So what is the dimension of at square? L. देखो, तीनों का डायमेंशन बराबर है, इसका डायमेंशन, इसका और इसका मतलब ये इक्वेशन क्या है? दिस इज करेक्ट. सो डायमेंशन ऑफ s इज इक्वल टू डायमेंशन ऑफ ut is equal to dimension of at square is equal to L. Hence the given equation is correct. Okay, so this is the uses of the first use of dimensional analysis. You can take the example of this one also, v equal to u plus at. देखो, ये तो हम लोगों ने यूनिट लिया था. So what is the dimension of v? V means velocity, so dimension will be lt minus 1. lt minus 1. What is the dimension of u? U is initial velocity, so the same dimension lt minus 1. A into t, acceleration, dimension is lt minus 2, time का dimension t, so it will be lt minus 1. देखो, in every case we are getting the same dimension, that is dimension of V is equal to dimension of U is equal to dimension of AT is equal to dimension of LT minus 1. So the equation is correct. So the equation is correct. Bas this is the thing. Okay, you can take one more example. कोई और example हम लोग ले सकते हैं क्या? बहुत सारा example है, देखो और क्या example लेंगे हम लोग. Number 3, कोई भी एक equation from your class 9 or 10. हाँ, you can take the example of say kinetic energy is equal to half of mv square. You can check this equation also whether it is correct or not. देखो एनर्जी का इक्वेशन क्या है? एनर्जी इज नथिंग बट वर्क डन, एंड वर्क डन इज व्हाट? ml2 m l to the power 2 t to the power minus 2. So ek, what is ek? ek means kinetic energy. kinetic energy মানে কি? গতি শক্তি. তো শক্তির একক আৰু কার্য সম্পাদনৰ একক একেই, সো দুইটাৰে কি ডাইমেনশনটো একে হ'ব. সো এইটো আমি কি লিখিম? ml2 t to the power minus 2 লিখিম from kinetic energy. Energy is nothing but work done. Work done is what? Joule. Joule is what? ml2 t minus 2. अच्छा, what is the dimension? हाफ का तो कोई डायमेंशन नहीं है. So what is the dimension of mv square? This is nothing but dimension of m into dimension of v square. Dimension of m is, मास का डायमेंशन क्या होगा? कैपिटल M. What is the dimension of v square? Dimension of v is L meter per second na, so L t minus 1 to the power 2. So it can be written as m L2 t to the power minus 2. देखो e k और mv square दोनों का डायमेंशन बराबर है, इसका मतलब दिस इक्वेशन इज ऑल्सो करेक्ट. ओके, दिस इक्वेशन इज ऑल्सो करेक्ट. सो वन मोर इक्वेशन. एक इक्वेशन है, एक क्वेश्चन मैं देता हूँ तुम लोगों को. बेस्ड ऑन दिस क्वेश्चन इन वंडरवॉल्स इक्वेशन, ये केमिस्ट्री पे मिलेगा. वंडरवॉल का गैस इक्वेशन क्या होता है? सो इन वंडरवॉल्स इक्वेशन, तो व्हाट इज द इक्वेशन ऑफ वंडरवॉल्स का इक्वेशन क्या होता है? p प्लस a बाई वी स्क्वायर v minus b is equal to RT. Okay, RT. So what is P here? Where P is equal to pressure, where P is pressure. ये कॉमन क्वेश्चन है. हाँ, V is वॉल्यूम, A और B हमें नहीं मालूम. कैपिटल R is universal gas constant. You will get all this thing in chemistry. Huh? This is universal gas constant and T is temperature. T क्या है यहाँ पे? Temperature. तो question is calculate dimension of A and dimension of B, also A divided by B. Okay, this is a van der Waals equation. You will get it in chemistry, so don't worry. Equation बड़ा है लेकिन don't worry. So you have to find out first the dimension of A. देखो कैसे करेंगे हम लोग इसको. You think about this term. Here we are adding these two term ना. It means इसका यूनिट और इसका यूनिट दोनों बराबर, इसका डायमेंशन और इसका डायमेंशन मस्ट भी बराबर. सो हम यहाँ पे क्या लिखेंगे कि P प्लस P डायमेंशन ऑफ P मस्ट बी और इक्वल टू डायमेंशन ऑफ A डिवाइड बाई V स्क्वायर. ओके, सो डायमेंशन ऑफ A विल बी डायमेंशन ऑफ P डायमेंशन ऑफ V स्क्वायर. ओके, P इज प्रेशर. सो प्रेशर क्या होगा यहाँ पे? F डिवाइडेड बाई A. you know this pressure is force per unit area, F divided by A, and dimension of V square is what? L to the power 3 square. वॉल्यूम है ना, वॉल्यूम का यूनिट क्या होता है? मीटर क्यूब, सो L to the power 3. तो व्हाट इज द डायमेंशन ऑफ फोर्स? इट इज M L T minus 2. Dimension of area is L square and it is L to the power 6. So it will be it will be L to the power 7, 7 minus 2, 5. L to the power 5, T minus 2. This is dimension of A. Okay? अच्छा, we are subtracting this part. देखो, when we can subtract, when the unit of B is equal to unit of V, मतलब दोनों का dimension must be बराबर. So dimension of V must be or equal to dimension of B. So dimension of B will be, वॉल्यूम का डायमेंशन क्या है? L to the power 3. तो डायमेंशन ऑफ A हो गया, डायमेंशन ऑफ B भी हो गया. कोई सिली मिस्टेक हो सकता है, तुम लोग देख लेना यहाँ पे. So what is the dimension of A divided by dimension of B? It is M L to the power 5 T to the power minus 2 L to the power 3. So it will be M L square T to the power minus 2. Okay, ML2 T minus 2 ये होना चाहिए. Okay, so other two uses, जो और दो uses है, that we will discuss in our next class. Okay.